Hello and welcome to another Pauper video. I'm Kalikaiz. Today I'm taking a look at the Magic Online metagame, what's good in the Pauper Leagues, and what's been going on in the challenges. Plus we're going to check out some Spice and the new Spider-Man cards. Before we get into it, make sure to like, subscribe, leave me a comment, let me know what you thought about the lists, what was your favorite deck, and what did I miss. Also, remember there's early access to videos on the YouTube membership page. You can get Patreon sideboard guides and support me however you want. If you want to do it like a deck donation, that also can be done via DMs through PayPal or something like that. If you remember from the last video, we checked out August 10th through September 6th, so about 4 weeks. In that time period, the most popular deck was Mono Red Madness, most trophy deck at around 12.25% of the metagame, and then we had Mono Blue Terror at just over 10%, then Rally Red. So Burn on a whole about 20% of the metagame for Mono Red Burn, then Jund Wildfire, then Elves coming down from there. So our current iteration was September 7th through the 27th, so 3 weeks, not including this one. Still Mono Red Madness on the top, but Jund Wildfire coming up. So let's see. Jund Wildfire was at 6%, it's gone quite a bit up. Mono Blue Terror going down, Rally Red. So Jund Wildfire swapped places sort of here. Then we have Elves, Black Sacrifice at 5.4% of the total trophies. That is pretty interesting to see. That deck has really been popping up. Spy Combo at 4% when before it was at about 4%. So people are really pushing the anti-graveyard stuff. In the first week, we saw Jund Wildfire at the top of the metagame with 10%. Then Rally Red and Mono Blue Terror. Jund Wildfire maintaining the top slot in the second week. And then in the third week, Mono Red Madness way more than Jund Wildfire, but Jund Wildfire is still around 10% of the metagame there. And Mono Red Madness did just get a new card from Spider-Man or through the Omen Pass, which we will check out after we check out some of the other deck lists. The first deck list I wanted to check out was the red-green tokens from Agua Tonificada. This is one that I forgot to plop into the previous video, but it's looking to just put tokens down with Writhing Chrysalis. You have Mycetian Elder makes a token, then Nest Invader, Essence Warden, Cloakwood Swarmkeeper. These are kind of token-based strategies, but you win the game by having Molten Gatekeeper in play, which says whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. Combining that with Impact Tremors, you've got a lot of ways to ping your opponent when you make tokens. So it's pretty sweet. You can also use Glimpse the Impossible as either a draw 3 or make 3 Eldrazi spawns. And that can make your Chrysalises huge. So cool deck for sure. I haven't tried that out. They said that they really like using Sprout Swarm to kill people, which is kind of cool. In this week, we saw Turbo Fog from Ivern OP. I just wanted to note this specific deck. There was a couple of Turbo Fogs that were black-green, but no one's been playing blue-green in a while. This one uses Stream of Thought as their win condition, and just a lot of card draw spells, a few counter spells, and a lot of fogs and weather storms. Here we have a Dimir control deck from You Are Sleeping. This is an Abjure list looking to counterspell things for 1 mana. They also have Metallic Rebuke in the deck, but no straight up counterspell. And they have Hard Evidence and Cryogen Relic. Sacrificing Cryogen Relic to Abjure is pretty brutal. Here's another Dimir control from Leo Bertucci. This is reminiscent of the Dimir Affinity because they're playing 2 Ethereum spinners to go wide, and that can be combined with Pact Altair, Refurbished, and Mirror Enforcer. But it's more of a Gardens deck because they're playing Crypt Rats in their main deck. As a sweeper, they've got Fungal Infection, Tragic Slip, and Cast Down, and then a lot of card draw spells and more removal spells. So this is more like a Dimir Affinity Gardens kind of style. Speaking of gardens, we have a pretty spicy one coming up later. So this one is white-black. I would call this white-black Disruption from Danny Ground. They're an Italian player that's very strong. They're a very strong player. They're playing 2 Fairy Macabres in the main deck, which you can return with your Blood Fountain to really mess with people's graveyards. Otherwise, it's mostly a Orzhov Blade deck with Tithing Blade that you can pick up and replay with your Glinthawks and your Skyfishers. They can also pick up and replay the Refurb. And they have Okiba Gang Shinobi to continue to pressure your opponent's hand. So very disruptive. If you want to be picking things up and putting them down, Chord for 15 played a Jeskai Synthesizer. Now, someone made a note on a video, why don't these Boros or Jeskai play Cleansing Wildfire? Well, this list is playing Cleansing Wildfire. It's reminiscent of the Mardu synth deck, and they're basically playing the same deck, except for instead of black, they're playing blue for Cryogen Relic. They've got 4 Synthesizer and 4 Cryogen Relic, and now I'm kind of interested there because that is a lot of cards that you can draw by picking them up and putting them back down. Wow, I love that. Bolts and Blasts to end the game, couple of Thraben Charms, couple of Journeys to Nowheres, and the sideboard looks pretty clean with Krark-Clan Shaman and Navigator's Compass as 4 of, some Pyros, some Circle of Protection red, and some Thraben Charms. I think in a list like this, Red Elemental Blast would definitely be the correct choice. So if your opponent has a Standard Bearer, you don't have to target it if you're going to destroy a blue permanent. We have Dimir Control here from Andre Doria. So this is more just blue-black control. No artifact lands whatsoever. Lots of snuff outs probably. 4 snuff outs here. They have Sneaky Snackers or Recursive Threat, and then Thorn of the Black Rose to get card advantage plus a Tolarian Terror. So kind of similar to the Is It Terror, but black. This is a, it's called Black Red by Wabodabo, but Wabodabo has been playing a lot of like Rally Burn or the like a Low to the Ground Madness Burn. And here they're playing Rally Burn with 3 Street Race and 3 Metamorphose in the main deck to try to essentially give them a 54 card deck. Very interesting. I haven't seen this before. I guess you could Metamorphose into the Street Wraith, but you're really just looking to cycle it. They have 4 Chain Lightning, 4 Lightning Bolt, and their version of a Galvanic Blast is Reckless Abandon, which sacrifices a creature. You have to sacrifice one of your creatures and it deals 4 damage to target creature or player as a sorcery. So it's sort of more copies of Fire Blast where you don't have to sacrifice your lands. Fire Blast not amazing in a deck that's playing 4 Great Furnace. You're probably only going to be able to cast one of them. I mean, most of the time. You probably can cast 2 of them sometimes. Otherwise, it looks pretty normal. But if anybody's tried out this specific list with Street Wraith in the main deck, make sure to hit me up in the comments and let me know how it goes for you. Like, are you killing yourself too quick, or is it just making it worth it? They also have no synthesizers. So the only way they could get the Street Wraith in exile. Oh, okay. So they have no Reckless Impulse effects whatsoever. So no card draw. They're just looking to do the thing. More of a slide deck. Here we have a Rakdos Sacrifice. It's labeled, but this is another sort of Gardens-esque deck. You're looking to control the game, Refurbished Familiar. You've got Krark-Clan Shaman, a couple Greedy Freebooter Shambling Gas effects, and then winning with stuff like Cornered by Black Mages and the Black Mage's Rod. Plus some Galvanic Blast. Pretty cool that if you have a Rod in play, Galvanic Blast deals 5. That's a very strong play for sure. Moving upwards, we have this is 4 color by Viashino Peruano, but this player is playing Boros Synth, splashing for a Sneaky Snacker off of some discard effects. So Melded Moxite, you can discard your Sneaky Snacker. They also have 2 Bitter Reunions to discard the Sneaky Snacker. So this is kind of sweet. They've actually managed to get a couple of trophies with this deck, so I'm interested in trying that out as well. Let me know if it is something that you're interested in checking out or watching. The next list is a 4 color by Chen Jesu. This player is known for taking wacky ideas and seeing if they work, but they essentially took Jund Wildfire and splotted in a Sneaky Snacker and Cryogen Relic. The list looks all over the place. They've got demand answers instead of like Visitor's Insight and stuff. Some crop rotation, which can search with the Bajuka Bog. It's got a lot of techie things. They are a very strong player. The next list, we are getting close to the new cards, but still in the spice level, right? We've got Glint Blade. So Kerblinksy played this. I don't actually know who the original pilot was. I know they won or at least top forward, a large event in France, but this is Orzhov Blade using the Gates package. Black Basilisk Gate, Black Dragon Gate, etc. And in order to splash for 4 Cryogen Relic. This is probably the easiest way to play blue or white black plus Cryo, and Cryo being a very strong card. Plus they've got, it looks like they have no Refurbished Familiars in the deck. That's pretty interesting. So I think this is a deck that Kerblinksy either 5-0'd on camera, or they have a league of this specifically on their on their YouTube, which is Kerplinksy. I can link that in the description. Next we have Black, Red, Green from Ugars. So this actually looks like a Walls deck, right? I mean, looks like just kind of an Elves deck. In the main, they're not playing... Okay, so let me take a step back. This looks like a spy deck. You're scrolling down, you've got Land Grant, Forest, a couple Forest, Swamp, Winding Way, Lead the Stampede, and yet no Balustrade Spy and no Dread Return in the main deck. Instead, they have Avenging Hunter, Sagyu, Genersent, Troll of Cosdooms as the ways to win the game. So they're just looking to slap stuff on the table and then Nyxborn Hydra for the win. In the sideboard is where they have their Balustrade Spy and Dread Return. I want to know, if you're this pilot, why you did this. Is it because there's so much graveyard hate in the main deck? It definitely could be. Now we're going to move on to the new cards. So Madness Burn. So NMT Sco94 was the first person to trophy with Masked Meower or Skittering Kitten on Magic Online. This card is a 1-drop for a single red pip. Has haste and discard a card, sacrifice a, draw a card. In order to fit this, they trimmed on a Kessig, a Fiery Temper, a Faithless Looting, and a Lava Dart from the main stock list. Later on in the week, I actually trophied with a different version of it where I completely cut the Flame Breather and went back to the a simpler one. So let me just pull that up. We have 4 Meower, 4 Epicure, 4 Snacker, 4 Gutter Snipe. And it's very interesting because I do think that the Meower allows you to have a much better go wide plan with 8 1-drops. And sort of makes your Delver plan better when you're bringing in your Pyroblast post board. So I do think this is an upgrade. I recorded with this specific list. Unfortunately, not very good audio because I was out at MagicCon Atlanta, which was super fun. But the video is kind of medium if you don't want to check that out. The one with the new list that I 5-0'd with, I did not record that league, but I had a really cool league with it. And that will be out for everybody on Sunday, or it is already out if you want to check it out in the YouTube membership section. The next list that has a Spider-Man card is White-Black for a single Spider-Man Web Slinger. I mean, it does have a new card, right? It's just discard-based Glinhawk stuff. They have Glinhawk, Skyfisher. Virus Beetle is an artifact that they can pick up and replay, along with the Refurbished Familiar, so it's literally just discard the crud out of your opponent with 4 Hopeless Nightmares as well. They're just going to try to strip your hand into the ground. It was pretty strong. I lost to it, I think, pre-board. It was pretty tough. The next deck is Mono White Heroic. Acho L, I can't pronounce it. They're playing Skyward Spider. I don't know the Magic Online name, but it is white-white or blue-blue or hybrid. Or this creature has flying as long as it's modified and has ward 2, which is very strong in a deck where you're looking to go low to the ground and enchant it. Give it flying pretty quickly, and it's hard to interact with. Definitely, or it may be better than the 2-drop that has Heroic, but we've seen a lot of the Heroics after this trophy with this card, although it's not labeled as Heroic. So now, those are the Spider-Man cards, and we're going to go on to some more, the super spicy list, the top 2 spiciness. Grixis Control from Nitrox 18. They managed to trophy with Cavern Harpy in their deck, which is pretty sick. They're playing Refurbished Familiar as a 4-of with the Artifact Land mana base. And I guess you can just pick it up with the Cavern Harpy. They've got Brainstorm, Bolt, Ponder, Cleansing Wildfire, Counterspell, Crypt Incursion, Soul Manipulation, and Lorien Revealed. That deck is wild. So Nitrox, let me know how that went. That obviously well, right? They had all the answers. That's pretty sick. And the top spice of the league video from me is Mono Blue Control from USP Dudes. If you're not aware, USP Dudes was one of the first people to be working on the Gardens deck. They were playing a mono black version of Gardens before Initiative was even released on Magic Online. And they were one of the first pilots of the Gardens with Initiative. Here they have an Abjure Cryogen Relic deck with Philology, Barkform Harvester to make sure you don't deck out, because you're going to be playing the very, very long game, and then Murmuring Mystic. Mystic also works with Abjure. Then you can do tons of cool stuff with this. If you get down to a couple of Frantics, you can put your Frantics back, draw more cards. And then they have Unable to Scream, which is also a permanent that they can sacrifice. Pretty cool. So if you are a sicko and you want to play really long game of mono blue control, maybe where you just 1-0 your opponent in paper, try this deck out. All the decks will be linked in the description below. Let me know what you thought about the video and the decks that I highlighted. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next video.